All right, today we are diving into something that's not just another little AI update. No, this is a total rethink of how we work with artificial intelligence. We're not talking about just giving commands anymore. We are talking about the dawn of a true digital workforce, thanks to something called the Always-On Agent from Manus AI. Think about the AI you use right now. You ask it something, it gives you an answer, and then it just sits there, waiting. It's kind of like having a super smart assistant who has zero short-term memory. But what if it wasn't like that? What if your AI could remember everything? What if it could just work for you 24/7 in the background? Okay, let's really get into this, because this is the core of the whole shift. On one side, you have the tools we're used to, these reactive things. They wait for you to tell them what to do, they forget the conversation a minute later, and they only work when you're actively using them. On the other side, you've got these autonomous agents. They work continuously. They remember the context of your projects, and they can manage tasks that last for weeks or months. See, it's the difference between a clever tool and a genuine partner. So here's the plan for today. First up, we're going to unpack what makes this a totally new kind of AI. Then we'll take a look under the hood at the 5 features that make it all possible. After that, we'll see it in action, talk about why this changes, well, pretty much everything, and finally take a quick peek at what's on the road ahead. Think of the AI you know now, like a chatbot. The second you close that browser tab, poof, the whole conversation, all that context, it's just gone, wiped clean. The always-on model is the complete opposite. It's built from the ground up for continuous operation. It's what you call an autonomous system, which is just a fancy way of saying it can manage its own complex, ongoing work without you having to constantly poke it and remind it what to do. So how in the world does this actually work? What's the secret sauce? Well, it really boils down to 5 core features that give these agents their incredible power. Let's break them down one by one. First up is something called the skills framework. This is basically the AI's personal toolbox. So instead of just talking, it can actually do things, specific, repeatable, reliable things, like running a data analysis, integrating with an API, or pulling together the latest research. This is what turns it from just a chatterbox into a real workhorse. Next up, AI subagents. Okay, picture the main agent as a project manager. When you give it a big, complicated goal, it doesn't try to do everything by itself. No, that would be inefficient. Instead, it delegates. It breaks the big job down into smaller pieces and hands them off to a team of specialist sub-agents. One might be a data whiz, another a research guru. This lets it tackle really complex stuff, often all at the same time. Now, this one is a massive deal. Persistent memory. This means the agent actually remembers your project goals, your preferences, the history of your conversations, and not just for a few minutes, but over days, weeks, even months, so you never have to re-explain yourself. It can track a huge project from start to finish because it's always building on what it did yesterday instead of starting from scratch every single morning. And to make sure all this complex work happens without a hitch, the agent gets its very own dedicated computer instance. It's like giving your AI its own private soundproof office, instead of having it share a desk in a loud, chaotic co-working space. This means it can run 24/7 without being interrupted, and it's a whole lot more secure and reliable too. And finally, we have identity and messenger support. This is huge because it gives the agent a consistent personality and lets it talk to you and your team right where you already work, on platforms like Slack or Microsoft Teams. It can pop into a channel to give an update, ask a clarifying question, or deliver a report. It stops being a tool you have to log into and becomes a genuine, active member of your team. And when you lay it all out like this, the difference is just stark. Traditional AI, it's session-based, its memory is terrible, and it doesn't do anything unless you're watching. The always-on agent is the complete opposite on every single point. This isn't just a small step up, it's a totally different way for AI to operate. All right, so we've seen all the building blocks, but how does this all come together in the real world? Let's get out of the theory and look at a practical workflow to see this thing actually in action. So here you have it, the autonomous cycle. It all kicks off when you give the main agent a high-level goal. It immediately breaks that goal down, delegates the tasks to its subagents, and they get to work using their special skills. The results get saved in that all-important persistent memory, and you get progress updates along the way. And the key thing here? This loop just keeps on running 24/7 with zero need for you to constantly prompt it. And this isn't just some sci-fi concept. Just imagine a software company with an agent that's always watching its key metrics and generating reports, or a research lab where an AI is constantly scanning the globe for new studies and summarizing them. Marketers could have campaigns that literally optimize themselves over time. Financial teams could get instant alerts on weird market activity. In every single case, it frees up brilliant people to stop doing the grunt work and focus on the big strategic ideas. So let's zoom back out. What does this all really, truly mean for the future of work? Well, this technology is the tipping point. It represents that fundamental shift away from thinking about AI as just a helpful assistant and toward building a true digital workforce. The upsides here are just massive. There's way less friction in getting work done. Long-term projects finally have perfect continuity. You can automate these incredibly complex, multi-step workflows that were impossible before. But honestly, the biggest benefit might be for us. It reduces the cognitive load. We can finally offload the mental weight of tracking all these ongoing processes to our new digital teammates. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's about moving from simple conversation support to genuine workforce automation. The crucial point is this. These agents aren't just built to chat with you. They are built to do things. They're designed to take on real, ongoing responsibilities inside an organization. Now, of course, adopting a model this powerful isn't as easy as just flipping a switch. It's really important to have a clear-eyed view of this, so let's touch on some of the practical things you need to consider. Right, so managing a whole team of these autonomous agents, that takes some serious planning and orchestration. And all those dedicated computer instances, they're not free. That means higher infrastructure costs. And with agents that are always on and always remembering, you absolutely need rock-solid governance and security protocols. And maybe most importantly, even an autonomous system still needs a human in the loop to provide guidance and oversight. This table really brings it all home. We're seeing a complete evolution across every single dimension of how AI works. We're going from user-triggered to continuous, from session-based memory to persistent, from a single agent working alone to a multi-agent team collaborating. It's a full-on paradigm shift. So, all of this really leads us to one final massive question. As these AI agents become our persistent 24/7 digital partners, the story isn't just about what they can do for us. It's about how we're going to work with them. When our digital colleagues are working around the clock, how will our own jobs, our own creativity, and our own work change? That is the incredible future we are just now stepping into.